If you're struggling to get a rotor removed, there's a couple different things you can do. You can take a hammer and you can hit in here to loosen that up. And if you're going to be replacing the rotor, you can always hit back here. If you're going to be reusing the rotor, just make sure you put a block there. If that doesn't work, you can also try some PB Blaster, put it into those holes there and around that ring, and sometimes that'll work. I would say probably 9 times out of 10, you can get it loosened up with just a hammer and block within 10 to 20 seconds. After about a minute or two, this one does not seem like it wants to come off of here, so we're going to go to plan B. What you can do is take a bolt, and you're going to have a nut threaded on the end, and back there on the spindle where our caliper bracket gets attached, there's a hole. We'll thread this in there, we'll draw this up on the spindle, then we'll use this to ratchet this bolt in, and it'll push this rotor off the hub. So we'll insert our bolt and we'll thread this nut on the end. Then we're going to take our ratchet here, we'll put a wrench here to keep this tight on there, then we'll slowly start ratcheting that and it should start pushing that rotor out. So after you ratchet that down a few times, we're now going to loosen this back up. We're going to turn our rotor and we're going to do the same thing at another spot so we can get even pressure on this rotor to help break it loose. Now if you're working on the rear, it's a lot easier because you can just rotate that if you have a front wheel drive vehicle. On this one, since it's in front wheel drive, we're going to have to make sure we put this thing in neutral. Just make sure you have your emergency brake set as well before you do that, so then we can rotate this rotor. Then we'll repeat the process again. And if you notice before, when I threaded my bolt through there, I didn't put it on the surface here, although that would be a better direct fit there. I did it on the side because we are trying to reuse this rotor. So just keep that in mind if you're going to be reusing the rotor versus if you're going to be replacing it. Okay, so there we just heard a pop, so it is starting to loosen up on this side. So we'll loosen this back up. Then we'll insert our bolt again. All right, so we pushed it out a little bit more, so now we'll go ahead and loosen it up again. And it still is kind of stuck on there, so we'll rotate it one more time here. And we'll tighten down our bolt again, and hopefully it should pop right off. All right, so there we finally broke it loose, so we'll remove the rotor. After you get that removed, just make sure before you install your new one that you take a wire brush and get in here and thoroughly clean all of that corrosion off of there. Once you're done doing that, make sure you put some anti-seize on here. And if you're not going to be replacing the rotor and you're reusing this old rotor, make sure you do the same thing on this part here so this doesn't happen again. All right, so hopefully this helped you out. If it did, please give me the thumbs up. If you're interested in more content like this, please hit that subscribe. But again, I hope this helped you out, and thanks for watching.